If you'd like to ask me any question, no topic is off limits, then please join us Thursdays at 12:15 Central Standard Time for our Throwback Thursday show, where you can interact with me live. For more information, please visit our Daisy Girl Communications Facebook page or email me at daisygirlcommunications@gmail.com. I just remember thinking when Nelson shortened the church hours to only a 2-hour Sunday meeting rather than a 3-hour, for me, it felt like an answer to prayers because I got 1 hour in my week back. Y'all, yeah. I bawled. I felt so much relief from that. And I think one of the reasons why there was such, this is Sarah's opinion, I don't have any statistics or any solid documentation to back up this opinion. But my opinion is that when people got a solid break due to COVID, one of the reasons there's been such a huge exodus out is because they got hours back in their day and they were able to come up for breath and turn their critical thinking skills back on, because every moment of their existence was not micromanaged by the church because we weren't allowed to be together. And I remember here, at least, there was a lot of confusion. Like in the beginning, it was like, yes, you can hold meetings by Zoom. And then it was, no, you can't. And then it was, yes, you can. And they went back and forth and back and forth. But the attendance numbers, I don't feel have ever been the same based on what I'm hearing. Again, I haven't really been back, but I know in our own ward building, those couple of times I went back, it's been a lot more empty.
I think people figured out that they can survive on their own.
Yeah. That they didn't need it as much.
Need the church for survival. And that's the way it should be, in my opinion. You should not need the church for survival.
The church should be supporting the family, not the family supporting the church.
Right.
The church should be supporting the individual, not the individual supporting the church.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think people finally saw that. There's one last quote I wanted to share, and this I think I've shared before, but it's from C.S. Lewis, and really kind of speaks to what's going on here. He says, "Of all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It would be better to live under robber barons than under omnipotent moral busybodies. The robber baron's cruelty may sometimes sleep, his cupidity may at some point be satiated, but those who torment us for our own good will torment us without end, for they do so with the approval of their own conscience." And I would like to add there at the end, we give them that approval. We allow them to do the tormenting because we believe that they're right. And if we don't have the ability to step back, again, not saying y'all need to get out. That's not what we're saying at all. We need to be able to step back and look at what's going on in my life. Am I overwhelmed? What can I give up? What can I not? What's important to me? What's not important to me? Do I have to see all of this in the black and white way I've been taught, or can I see it in a nuanced way? Do I have to give everything, or what are my boundaries here? What is enough for me to give? And if we're honest with ourselves in that, if we sit back and say, you know what? I can give 5 hours a week. That's what I want to give. That's what I feel like I can do.
Right.
Some weeks that'll be easy. Some weeks that'll be really hard, but that's where I want my boundary to be. Then we set that and we find ourselves in a place where we're more comfortable with what we're giving. And that may be what's required. You stay in the organization, but you have a better understanding of what techniques are being used to control you so that you can shift that into controlling myself. I'm still a part of this organization, but they don't control me. I'm a part of it.
Right.
And that can be the case for anything, for work or any other religious organization or whatever.
And I would hope that most of y'all can do that. If not all of you could do that. Not in a psychiatric hospital bed the way that I did, because that's what happened to me. I had an absolute nervous breakdown, went into a psych hospital, and had to take stock of what can I give up because I am burned out to the point of a true nervous breakdown. Y'all, I cannot even begin to describe. It took me 6 to 8 months before I could read a paragraph and comprehend what I was reading. I was ridiculously not able to function because of the nervous breakdown. And for those of you who have been there, you understand what I am talking about. It's a really real thing. And I agree that the trap here within the Mormonism and cults is if that you have been brought up in the cult, you don't know any different.
Yeah.
Like for both of us, Mason, we've been doing this from the time we were born. You know, I was the primary president, pregnant and with kids, you know, crawling around in the back of the primary room or sleeping in their car seats.
Yep.
You know, nursing a baby while leading primary music. I've done that. Okay?
And it's just,
So my kids didn't know any different. And as we've stopped going to church, they are less anxious. They have more self-confidence. They're more relaxed.
Yeah.
Because they have rest time and they're able to choose what activities at school or at church they want to go to and which ones they don't. There's no longer the obligation of, you know, you're grounded from everything except Wednesday night youth activities and seminary and blah, 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 blah.
Well, and from the beginning, our podcast has been about educating ourselves and you as a listener in different ways to do things, healthier ways to do things. And that is all really ultimately, if we could only accomplish one thing, it would be, hey, look at this different perspective. Try and see things from a different way. Try and see things from this person's perspective so that we can build relationships in a healthy way and understand better how we work, how other people work. Like this whole thing about cults, it's not because we want to damage the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or Jehovah's Witnesses or any other organization that people like to call a cult. It is so that you can recognize in your life how these influencers are active in your life. And then you can choose whether or not you allow them to stay that way. It doesn't have anything to do with the organization. It doesn't have anything to do with the truth claims. It has everything to do with you recognizing how you are being manipulated, controlled, instructed, taught, however you want to look at it, so that you can then step back and say, that's not what I want, or that is what I want. I'm okay with that, but you are now in charge of what's going on in your life.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Have you heard about the 2018 study that showed half of prenatal vitamins tested had unacceptable levels of heavy metals? No? Well, now you have. I'm Kat, mother of 3 and founder of Ritual, the company making traceability the new standard in the supplement industry. I remember staring at my prenatal vitamins and finding all these things I was trying to avoid. High amounts of heavy metals, synthetic colorants, and unnecessary ingredients. So, at 4 months pregnant, I quit my job and started Ritual because I believe that all women deserve to know what they're putting in their bodies and why. I'm so proud of our prenatal vitamin. The ingredients are 100% traceable, it's third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals, and recently received the Purity Award from the Clean Label Project. You see, we trace like a mother because, let's be honest, no one cares quite like a mother. But don't just take my word for it. Trace for yourself with 25% off at ritual.com/podcast.
Chicken tacos should only be trusted to chicken professionals.
That's where we come in. Introducing Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One comes with pico de gallo and creamy chipotle ranch. And the other comes with bacon, lettuce, tomato, and avocado ranch. Chicken experts since 1990. Chicken taco experts since now. Order yours today in the Zax Rewards app. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.